Well guys, Amazon finally did something right. Check it out guys, this is the new RG-22 classic SG style guitar from Redid Guitars, or Redid. I'm not exactly sure how to say the company name, so I'm gonna go with Redid. Today guys, my channel finally made it to 16,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have been watching, commenting, hitting the thumbs up, subscribing, all that stuff. I wouldn't be here without you guys, so thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, if you could, do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. You'll be helping me on my way to making 17,000 subscribers. As usual guys, I have written and recorded an all new jam just for this video using this bad boy right here. Check it out. So the guitar, I mean, it's your basic classic SG style rock guitar. It's got kind of an offset shape right here. It's not even on both sides. It's a little bit offset like you've seen maybe on some other budget SG style guitars. It's got two humbuckers, the Tune-o-matic bridge, one volume, one tone, three-way toggle, and the input or the output jack is right here instead of being up here like you might see on some other guitars. I really like the way they laid out the controls and everything. The fact that it's one volume and one tone. Why do you need two volumes and two tones like you might see on some other SG style guitars? To me, that's just overkill. I don't need two volumes, I don't need two tones. One volume, one tone, that's great. Three-way toggle, and I'm glad that the jack is down here and not up here because I don't want the cord, the cable, sticking out up here. So this is perfect for me. The body and the neck are mahogany. The fretboard is rosewood. It's really nice. It's got the big block inlays. It's got binding on both sides of the neck. Very nice. Set neck design. The nut is just a basic, cheap plastic nut. However, they've done a really good job on this cheap plastic nut. It's shaped and cut very well. It's centered. Everything's good on it. Sometimes on the really cheap plastic nuts, there's issues where you can see like pieces of plastic kind of sticking out where they, shaved or sanded the groove, and then they didn't bother to like take away that extra plastic that's sticking out. Well, that's not the case in this one. It's done very well. The height of the string, each string, good. The tuners, they're okay. They turn fine. They're responsive. What's really good about this is that there are no tuning issues. It stays in tune. It doesn't go out of tune. That tells me that the strings are not getting caught in the nut and the tuners are okay. The scale length on this is 24.75 inches, which is standard for like an SG style or an LP style guitar. Now, as far as the neck profile, it is not a super thin, super strat style neck profile, but you wouldn't expect to find that on this kind of guitar, on an SG. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit rounder, like you would find on other SGs and LP style guitars. The frets are medium. Now the paint and the finish and the work on this, it is pretty much flawless. I could not find a single flaw or issue, no swirl marks, no scratches, no extra glue anywhere. I mean, they really knocked this one out of the park. Okay, so what most impressed me with this guitar? Well, this guitar probably, I'm gonna say with a fair amount of certainty, had the best setup right out of the box than pretty much anything else that I've ever received. I had to do practically nothing to get this into primo playing condition. The action on this guitar, I'm not kidding guys, this is the lowest action out of all my guitars, okay? Now yeah, you can get super low action and then have a bunch of fret buzz, you know, right? Notes buzzing out all over the fretboard, but it's super low and there's no fret buzzing. So did I take the strings off? Did I adjust the truss rod? Did I level the frets? No, I didn't do any of that. Actually, I raised the action a tiny bit because it was just too low and it was just like, it was a little bit uncomfortable because I was not used to it being that low. So I actually raised it a tiny bit, but it's still probably the lowest action out of all my guitars, which makes the guitar incredibly playable. If it wasn't for the neck being perfectly straight and for the action being really low, if there were uneven frets like you get a lot of times on budget guitars, I'm totally shocked that the frets are so level. But anyway, if the frets weren't level, I'd have to raise the action, right? So that I wouldn't get buzzing notes all over the fretboard. And as you raise the action more and more, it gets harder and harder to play and less comfortable to play. But like I said, that's not the case with this one. It played great right out of the box. I'm just so impressed with this thing. Now, one funny thing that happened, and it's not even a big deal at all, but I plug it in, I start playing it, right? And then I'm playing it, and then I go to like turn down the volume so that I'm not getting, you know, like feedback buzzing, whatever, while I'm just kind of looking at the guitar. So I turn down the volume, and then the sound is still coming out, and I'm going, oh no, the volume pot is messed up. It's like, it spins, but it doesn't work. So I do this, I turn this one down, and then guess what? The volume cut out. So, you know what that means? Guess what happened? All they did was they accidentally put the volume, they switched the volume and the tone pots on the inside of the control panel. They didn't switch the wiring, they didn't solder them incorrectly. They soldered the pots correctly, but when they put the pots up through the holes, they accidentally put the tone pot up through this hole and the volume pot up through this hole. And that is totally not a big deal because it was really easy to fix. I didn't have to do any soldering or wiring. No, nothing like that. All I had to do was take the two knobs off, really easy, undo the little nut, really easy, unscrew the plate cover here, take it off, and then I just took the two pots, they slip right out. Once you take those little nuts off, they just slip out, and I just switch the positions and put them up through the correct holes and then put the nuts on, and then now I've got the volume here and the tone here. Took me all of like 2 minutes. Okay, so why did I say Amazon finally did it? Amazon finally got it right. Well, because recently I reviewed this guy. You remember I reviewed this headless guitar from Volgoa a few weeks ago? Volgoa, right? And this guitar is Redid or Redid, however you want to say that. Well, guess what, guys? Both of these guitars are from the same factory, the same company, the same guys making these guitars. And in case you didn't see my review on the headless guitar, I gave this one a really good review because it's fantastic and I was really impressed by it. And now the same thing with this one. Really good guitar, great out of the box, amazing action. So as far as I'm concerned, it's 2 for 2. So I think it's pretty amazing that on Amazon you can get absolutely fantastic guitars under $200. So I'm just really impressed by both of these brands at this point. I've only tried these 2, I haven't tried anything else. We'll see when I get a third one and see if it's 3 for 3. Now I need to talk about the pickups, guys. These are low output pickups. They're not the high output 80s shred screaming pickups that I would normally have like in all my Super Strats and stuff. And that's totally fine because you don't need to have that in every guitar. But just so everybody knows, these are low output. They give you more of like a clean, pure, hard rock sound. Think of something more like AC/DC. But if you want that more like high output screaming, shredding sounds, you can change the pickups, guys. This guitar is only $149, so even if you buy like a set of pickups on Amazon, they got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff on there. You can get good, cheap pickups that still sound great. You're still gonna spend like less than 200 bucks even with the new pickups. All right, let's talk about the color, right? This color. The company calls it green. To me, it's more of like a seafoam green or even a mint color. And initially I was like, I don't know about that color. When I initially talked to the guy at the company, I asked him for one that was like a kind of an orange and black burst color, more of a traditional SG looking color. And he said like, well, those are all sold out. The only one that I have that's not sold out is this color. And I was like, well, okay, if that's the only one, I guess that's the one I'm gonna get. So I got the guitar, and it plays fantastic, right? And the longer I had it, like after a few days, basically the color started to grow on me. And I was like, you know what? That's actually pretty cool because it's really different than all the other guitars I have. Man, this thing stands out like a spotlight. And the more I look at it and look at it and look at it, the more I like it. Well, hello there. One thing's for sure. It demands your attention. It cannot be ignored. And if you're playing this in front of other people at a gig or whatever, it's gonna be a conversation starter, whether they like it or not. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the Redid or the Redid RG-22 SG Classic Rock Guitar. Definitely let me know what you think. Do you like the way the guitar looks? Do you like the way it sounded? Do you like the color? And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.